Another way that we can quickly and easily publish static web pages is using GitHub pages. So here if we go to pages.github.com, you can read about how GitHub Pages will allow you to host your GitHub repositories as websites publishable online for free. So you start by creating a new repository. And the repository should be yourname.github.io. And then what you'll do is you will clone that repository on your local computer. So you'll do a git clone github.com / whatever your username is / username.github.io. So here they're just filling in some content. They're basically just putting the text hello world into an index page. But essentially at this point you actually build a small simple website. And then you can simply add and push your changes up. Okay, so you should be able to now go to the domain username.github.io, and as they say, it does take a couple of minutes, sometimes up to 10 minutes the first time you put it up. And you should be able to see your website up at that location. So you can see they also provide you with some links to some blog tools. They tell you how to create your own custom URLs that will actually point to your github.io URL. So you can see that I've already created a repository here called johngrover.github.io. So whatever your username is, you just create a repository with your username.github.io. Okay. And then I went ahead and created some HTML, and then I pushed this up. Okay. And I have a master branch, and I also have a branch here called GH Pages. And whatever I publish to the GH Pages branch will now be visible at that URL. So I can go to the URL now, johngrover.github.io, and it will show the web page that I put up, which is this blog. Another neat thing about this is you can host any of your repositories up online simply by creating this GH Pages branch. So actually you should make a note that although GitHub Pages is free, one of the limitations is that you can't publish dynamic content. So you can't put up a web application that has a backend language or a database, for example. But what they will host for you are static web pages with just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So if I wanted to, I could go ahead and take the exceptional realty repository, and I could also host this online. So let's go ahead and open up Terminal, and I'll change directory into this repository. Okay, so on the master branch here and also on the PHP mailer branch, I have dynamic content that's not going to be able to be hosted on GH Pages. Now, I can actually publish this to my own personal hosting server. So in my case, I had pushed this up to my DreamHost account, and it's running perfectly fine from there. But again, GitHub Pages, although it's free, it's not going to let me host this dynamic content. But what I can do is create the GH Pages branch and merge in one of my previous branches that just had the static content, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So let's go ahead and start off by creating a new branch. And if we want this to be hosted on the GitHub Pages, I have to name this branch gh-pages. Okay, and it has to be spelled exactly like this, all lowercase with a hyphen in between GH and pages. So now that I'm on this branch, I'm going to do a git reset --hard, and I'm going to put in the branch name Ajax Market Table. Okay, and that was the last time that I had a static website was on this particular branch here. So then we can push up this branch. So I'll say git push -u origin GH Pages. Okay, so we're pushing up a new GH Pages branch, and we set up remote tracking. Okay, so I should be able to go and see this at my repository now on GitHub. So I'm going to come back to the exceptional realty repo on GitHub and refresh. Okay, and if I look here, I should see a GH Pages branch. Okay, excellent. Now, if I go to the settings, which is in the right-hand side here, This is the setting link for this particular repo. So if I click on that and I scroll down here, it's showing me here that under the GH Pages panel, it's saying that changes may take up to 10 minutes to be visible. Your site is published at, and it says it's published at the johngrover.github.io. Remember that web address I had shown you before, but this time it's at /exceptionalrealty. Okay, so if I go ahead and click on this link, it looks like my site's already up there.